Silence is louder than words, and those who know how to use it will always hold the power. They're still watching you, my friends. They think about you, they wonder about you, but they will never reach out. And the reason behind their silence will shake you to your core. Most people live their whole lives believing silence means indifference. They think if someone doesn't text, doesn't call, doesn't show up, it must mean they don't care. But here's the hard truth. Silence doesn't mean they don't care. Silence often means they care too much, but they refuse to let you see it. That's the game. That's the trap. And today, I'm going to expose exactly why they're silent, why they're watching, and why this silence isn't what you think. Before we dive in, press that like button and subscribe to the channel right now because these truths are too important to keep hidden. When you subscribe, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting a movement where men wake up to the reality of human psychology, relationships, and power. And trust me, folks, you do not want to miss what's coming next. Hey, folks, imagine this. You're standing in the middle of a crowded room. The noise is deafening. People are talking, laughing, shouting, and then, suddenly, it goes silent. That silence makes you turn your head faster than any voice ever could. That's exactly what's happening right now. They may not be speaking, but their silence is designed to be louder than any words. Silence is a stage, it's a spotlight. It's meant to make you wonder, to make you question, to make you feel something deep in your chest. My friends, here's the lie you've been fed. That silence equals moving on. That if they haven't reached out, it must mean they're done. Wrong. Silence is not closure. Silence is control. They would rather suffer in silence than admit they were wrong. They would rather stalk your profile, rewatch your stories, and whisper your name in their mind than send a single message that gives you the satisfaction of knowing you still matter. That's the truth. Think about it like this. Have you ever stared at a locked door knowing someone is standing right behind it? You can't see them, you can't hear them, but you feel their presence. That's what their silence is, a locked door. They're right there, watching, waiting, calculating, but refusing to open it because opening it means surrender. And folks, pride is heavier than love. Pride will chain their hands even when their heart is screaming to reach out. Let me break another illusion for you. If someone truly wanted you, you wouldn't be confused. You wouldn't be sitting there wondering what their silence means. They'd be in your life. They'd be showing up. They'd be acting. Silence is never about love. It's about control. It's about ego. It's about testing how much space they still hold inside your head. And the longer you wait, the more power you hand over. That's why silence destroys most men, not because it's painful, but because it makes them play the wrong game. But not you, not anymore, because from this moment forward, you're going to see silence for what it really is. You're going to stop overthinking it. You're going to stop waiting for it to break. You're going to use silence as your weapon. Because silence, when owned, is the most powerful statement you can ever make. It says, I do not need you. I do not chase you. I do not break. And that, my friends, is the energy that makes people panic. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly why they're silent, why they're still watching, and how you can flip the script so that their silence becomes their greatest regret. Comment below right now. I choose silence as power. Write it, claim it, show the world you're ready, and don't forget, press the like button and subscribe. We're just getting started, and what's coming next will open your eyes to truths you've never heard before. Because remember this, your silence, your absence, your detachment, it's not weakness. It's your crown, it's your shield, it's your greatest strength. And when you wear it proudly, nobody can break you again. Stay with me, folks. This is going to change everything. Affirmation. Silence is power. Write it in the comments. Number 1. Their silent watching is not moving on, it's control. Silence is not the absence of feeling, it's the presence of strategy. My friends, let me hit you with a truth that most men spend years ignoring. Just because they're silent, just because they haven't reached out, doesn't mean they've moved on. No, they're still there, quietly, secretly, deliberately watching you. They haven't vanished, they haven't forgotten, they're watching every little thing you do, replaying old memories, lurking in the shadows of your life. And here's the brutal part. They're not doing it because they miss you. They're not doing it because they want you back. They're doing it because silence allows them to feel in control. Imagine this. You're standing in front of a chessboard, you make your move, and then your opponent just sits there. No words, no motion, just silence. You start tapping your fingers, you start sweating, you start wondering, what's their plan? Are they setting me up? Are they waiting for me to crack? That's what their silence is. It's not inactivity. It's a calculated pause designed to make you squirm. That's why silence can feel so suffocating. It forces you into your own head. It makes you question everything you thought you knew. And right there is the trap. Because the moment you start overthinking their silence, you've already handed them the power. They don't need to text you, they don't need to call you, they don't even need to speak. All they need to do is sit back, stay silent, and let your mind do the heavy lifting. And believe me, folks, your mind will work harder than they ever could. That's the power of silence. Now, let's break a lie that society has drilled into you. You've been told, if they're quiet, they've probably moved on. If they're not reaching out, it means they don't care. Wrong. That's the soft version of reality. The truth is much darker. Silence often means they're still invested, but invested in a way that allows them to keep control without risk. Because if they break the silence, if they reach out, they're admitting weakness. They're admitting they still feel something. They're admitting they need you. And that is a risk they're not willing to take. Think of silence like a mask. Behind that mask, emotions are raging. Curiosity, jealousy, pride, even longing. But the mask keeps it all hidden while you're left guessing. It's like standing outside a locked door and hearing whispers inside. You know they're there, but they refuse to open up. Why? Because as long as that door stays closed, they still feel safe. They still feel powerful. And this is where the fear creeps in for most men. You start asking yourself questions that eat away at your confidence. Why haven't they said anything? Do they really not care? Are they already with someone else? Did they ever love me at all? That's the emotional warfare of silence. It doesn't just withhold words, it plants doubt. It shifts the focus from them to you until you're the one questioning your own worth. But here's where we rise above the illusion. Silence is not evidence of moving on. Silence is evidence of strategy. They're not silent because they're done. They're silent because they're still watching, still waiting, still calculating. They want to see if you'll break. They want to see if you'll fold under the weight of not knowing. They want to confirm that they still matter enough to occupy space in your mind. That's why silence is addictive. It allows them to observe without losing control. My friends, this is why it's so difficult. Because everything inside you screams to break the silence, to send a message, to check their profile, to do something, anything, just to get rid of that gnawing uncertainty. And that's exactly the trap. Because the moment you move, the moment you react, you give them confirmation. You prove they still have power over you. And once they have that, they don't need to come back. They don't need to reach out. They've already won. But listen to me now. Power in silence doesn't belong to the one who watches. It belongs to the one who refuses to play. When you stop reacting, when you stop overanalyzing, when you stop letting silence control your emotions, you flip the script. Suddenly, they're the one wondering, they're the one doubting, they're the one pacing in their mind, asking themselves, why hasn't he said anything? Why isn't he watching me back? Did I lose him? Is he gone for good? That's when silence shifts from being their weapon to being yours. Remember this quote, "The one who cares less always holds the power." As long as you care more about breaking the silence than they do, you lose. But the second you stop caring, the second you embrace the silence as your strength, everything changes. They lose the advantage. They lose the control. They lose the comfort of knowing you're still hooked. And that's when regret begins to eat them alive. So why do they think like this? Why is silence their go-to strategy? It's simple. Because silence allows them to test you without exposing themselves. It lets them confirm their importance without risking rejection. It lets them keep you as an option without making you a priority. And most men play right into it, because most men cannot handle silence. They crack, they chase, they explain themselves, they beg. And with every word they speak, their value drops lower and lower. But not you, not anymore, because now you understand the truth. Now you see silence for what it is, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. Silence is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of your power. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take the fear, the doubt, the questions their silence has created inside of you, and flip it. Instead of asking, why aren't they saying anything? Ask yourself, why am I giving them the power to affect me at all? Instead of chasing answers, choose to become the unanswered question. Instead of waiting for their words, let your silence be the echo that haunts them. Because at the end of the day, silence is a battlefield, and the one who remains unshaken wins. You don't win by explaining. You don't win by chasing. You don't win by cracking under the weight of the unknown. You win by standing tall, by holding your ground, by letting them realize that their silence doesn't control you, you control you. Comment this right now. My silence is power. Write it, claim it, show yourself, and show the world around you. Because when you own your silence, when you use it as your weapon, you become untouchable. Stay with me, because what's coming next will open your eyes even further. We've just started peeling back the layers of why they're silent, but the deeper reasons will make you rethink everything you thought you knew. This is only the beginning. Affirmation: my silence is power. Write it in the comments. Number 2, they fear looking weak, not losing you. Pride is the mask people wear when they're terrified of being exposed. My friends, let's crush another illusion right here. When they go silent, when they sit in the shadows watching you but refusing to make a move, it's not because they've forgotten you. It's not because they've suddenly outgrown you. It's not because you don't matter anymore. The truth is much more human, much more raw. They fear looking weak more than they fear losing you. Think about that for a second. Most of us were raised on the idea that love conquers pride. That if you truly care, you'll swallow your ego, you'll reach out, you'll admit when you're wrong. But that's not how they play the game. To them, vulnerability feels like defeat. Reaching out feels like surrender. Admitting they were wrong feels like handing you the crown. And folks, they would rather sit in silence and pretend they don't care than risk giving you that moment of victory. Let me give you a picture. Imagine someone standing on the edge of a cliff, holding a rope. On the other side, you're holding that same rope. Both of you could pull and reconnect. Both of you could tie the rope again, but instead they just stand there frozen, staring at you, rope in hand, refusing to move. Why? Because the moment they step forward, they fear you'll see the truth, that they still care, that they still feel, that they still think about you at night when no one's around. So they stay still, they keep the mask on, they let pride suffocate them rather than risk looking weak. And here's the dangerous part. You, the one on the other side of that rope, start to question yourself. You start to wonder, if they're not reaching out, maybe I never meant anything. Maybe they've completely moved on. Maybe I was a fool. That's the effect pride and silence have. It shifts the doubt onto you. But don't be fooled. Their silence isn't proof that they don't feel. Their silence is proof that they fear their feelings will make them look powerless. This is why so many men break in these moments. Because you feel the silence pressing against you like a weight. You think, if I just send one message, maybe it'll open the door. If I just explain, maybe they'll understand. But here's the lie. Explaining doesn't make you stronger. It makes you weaker. Because the very thing they're terrified of, looking like the one who cares more, you end up taking on yourself. You hand it to them on a silver platter. Let's be clear, they don't fear losing you. If they truly feared losing you, they would have never let you walk away in the first place. They would have fought for you. They would have made sure you stayed. What they fear is losing their grip on you. They fear you seeing them vulnerable. They fear you realizing the power you hold over their emotions. That's why silence becomes their shield. My friends, think about how twisted that is. They could have love. They could have connection. They could have peace. But instead, they choose silence. Because silence allows them to keep the illusion that they're the strong one. And here's the irony. The longer they stay silent, the weaker they actually become. Because while they're busy guarding their pride, you're busy moving forward. You're busy building yourself. You're busy stepping into the version of you that doesn't need validation from anyone. And one day, they'll wake up and realize that in trying so hard not to look weak, they actually lost the one thing that mattered: you. So what do you do in the face of this prideful silence? You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't explain. You let them sit with it. You let them drown in their own ego while you rise above it. Because here's the Stoic truth. Your power is not in what you say, it's in what you refuse to say. Your strength is not in how much you can convince someone, it's in how little you need to. Remember this. The moment you stop fearing their silence is the moment they start fearing yours. That's the shift. That's the flip of the power dynamic. When you no longer see their silence as rejection, but as proof of their fear, you stop hurting and you start rising. And yes, it will be difficult, because everything in you wants to fix it. Everything in you wants to break the tension. Everything in you wants to send that one last message. But the man who masters his emotions masters the game. The man who refuses to break, refuses to beg, refuses to chase, that's the man who becomes unforgettable. So hear me now. Their silence doesn't mean you were nothing. It means you were everything, and admitting that would expose them. Their pride is their prison. Don't join them in it. Walk free. Build higher. Become untouchable. Comment this right now. I rise above pride. Write it, show it, claim it. Let the world see that you're not trapped by their silence, you're empowered by it. Because when you rise above their fear of looking weak, you discover your own strength, and once you do, nothing, not silence, not pride, not ego, can ever chain you again. Stay with me, because what comes next will dig even deeper into their silent strategies and why your response determines who truly wins this battle. Affirmation: I rise above pride. Write it in the comments. Number 3, they test you without saying a word. Not all tests are spoken. Some are delivered in silence, and silence is the hardest one to pass. My friends, let's talk about the most dangerous kind of test, the one you can't see coming, the one they don't announce, the one that doesn't arrive in the form of an argument, a question, or a demand. No, this test comes cloaked in silence, and unless you learn how to recognize it, you'll fail without ever knowing you were being tested in the first place. They don't have to send you a message, they don't have to call you out, they don't have to say a word. Instead, they let silence do the heavy lifting, and in that silence, they're watching you closer than ever. They're watching your reactions, your behaviors, your slips. They want to know if you'll break first. They want to know if you'll stumble. They want to know if you'll hand them the validation they crave without them having to risk a single thing. Think about it. Why do people watch your stories after a breakup? Why do they leave breadcrumbs, liking an old photo, posting a quote, dropping a cryptic song lyric on their profile? That's not random. That's not coincidence. That's the silent test. They're not reaching out because reaching out costs pride, but they are putting bait out there. They're dangling little hooks to see if you'll bite. Will you reply? Will you react? Will you rush in and give them proof that they're still on your mind? That's what they want to know. It's like fishing, my friends. They cast the line, but they don't reel it in. They just wait. And the moment you take the bait, the moment you comment, like, or double text, they've got you. They don't even need to say a word, because your reaction has already told them everything they wanted to hear. Yes, you still matter to me. Yes, you still control my thoughts. Yes, I'm still here if you want me. That's why their silence is never empty. Their silence is always a setup. And here's the part that eats men alive, the questions that silence plants. Did that post mean something? Was that lyric about me? Why would they watch my story but not say anything? And while you're up at night dissecting every digital breadcrumb, they're relaxed, knowing they still have you hooked. That's the silent test. You do all the work while they do nothing but watch. Let's break the lie here. You've been told that silence means peace, that if they're not reaching out, they've moved on. Wrong. Silence is often their most active move. It's their strategy, because silence gives them control without effort. Silence lets them keep you questioning while they remain untouchable. Silence forces you into the role of the pursuer, even when they're the ones watching you. But a Stoic man sees the game for what it is. He doesn't take the bait. He doesn't decode every lyric, every post, every glance at his profile. He knows that the loudest test is often the quietest one, and instead of reacting, he holds the line. He stays still. He keeps moving forward without giving them a single piece of proof that they still matter. That's how you win the silent test, by refusing to play it. Think of it like this. Silence is their trap, but it's also your mirror. It shows you exactly where your self-control is. If their silence makes you desperate to act, you've still given them power. But if their silence doesn't move you, if you can see the breadcrumb and walk right past it, you've reclaimed every ounce of power they thought they had. It won't be easy. Your mind will scream at you to respond. You'll feel the urge to prove something, to get clarity, to regain balance. But every time you resist, every time you choose silence over reaction, you grow stronger. And here's the beauty of it. The longer you don't react, the louder your silence becomes. Suddenly, they're the one questioning. Suddenly, they're the one overthinking. Suddenly, they're the one wondering, why isn't he responding? Did he move on? Did he stop caring? Did I lose him for good? That's when the test backfires. Because the moment they realize you won't chase, you won't bite, you won't play into their silent games, that's when they panic. That's when the silence they thought was power becomes their prison. So, my friends, let me make this clear. Every breadcrumb is a test. Every silence is a strategy. Every view on your story is a probe. Don't fall for it. Don't feed it. Don't let them win with games that cost them nothing but could cost you your peace. Because the man who refuses to be tested in silence becomes the man they can't forget. Comment this right now. I don't take the bait. Write it, claim it, show them, show yourself, and show the world around you. Because when you refuse to play the silent test, you rise above it. And when you rise above it, you win. Stay with me, because the next truth will cut even deeper. It's about why your attention is the real prize thereafter, and why they'll fight silently just to know they still have it. Affirmation: I don't take the bait. Write it in the comments. Number 4. Your attention is the reward they crave. Attention is the most expensive currency in relationships, and the one who spends it carelessly always ends up broke. My friends, let me tell you something that will sting a little. They don't stay silent because they've moved on. They don't keep watching because they're secretly hoping to reconcile. They do it because your attention is the drug and you are the dealer. They crave it. They need it. They are addicted to the knowledge that somewhere in some corner of your mind, they still live rent-free. And silence, mixed with your curiosity, is the perfect way to keep that supply flowing. Think about this. Why would someone who has supposedly moved on still watch your stories? Why would they scroll through your pictures late at night? Why would they post carefully curated images of themselves living their best life, but make sure you're one of the first to see it? It's not love. It's not regret. It's validation. It's confirmation that they still matter. And nothing feeds the ego more than knowing someone out there is still analyzing their silence, still wondering about their absence, still giving them mental space even when they've given you none. Here's the raw truth. They don't want you back. They want the power of knowing they could have you back if they wanted. That's the difference. And as long as they sense you're still paying attention, they don't need to make a move. Why? Because they've already got what they came for. Your attention is the trophy. Imagine a magician holding up a shiny coin. He waves it in one hand while the trick happens in the other. That's exactly what they do with your attention. They post the picture, they drop the lyric, they view your story, not to reconnect, but to distract you, to make sure you're still watching, while behind the scenes, they give nothing real in return. And like most men, you might fall into the trap of thinking, if they're still watching, maybe they care. No, my friends. If they're still watching but not acting, it means they care about control, not connection. But here's where it gets even darker. They know attention works both ways. They know that if they can keep you watching them, reacting to them, checking up on them, they don't have to fear losing you. Because in their mind, as long as you're paying attention, you're still theirs. That's why they can stay silent without guilt. Because silence, paired with your curiosity, still gives them the outcome they want. Emotional dominance. Now let me ask you this. How much energy, how much time, how much mental space have you already given away for free? How many hours have you wasted replaying their silence, interpreting their posts, or checking if they viewed your story? That's the tax you've been paying without realizing it. That's the invisible contract you signed the moment you allowed their silence to hook your thoughts. And the longer you pay, the weaker you feel while they sit back collecting every ounce of validation you hand over. But here's the good news. You can flip it. You can cancel that contract right now. Because the moment you stop paying attention, the moment you stop feeding the addiction, the moment you pull your energy back, that's when their world shakes. That's when they realize the coin trick no longer works. That's when silence turns against them. Because instead of drawing power from you, they start starving without you. Remember this. The strongest man is not the one who commands attention, but the one who refuses to give it away cheaply. Your attention is valuable. Your focus is priceless. Stop giving it to someone who only wants it for ego fuel, because the second you protect your attention, you force them into doubt. You force them to wonder why you're not reacting. You force them to question if you've moved on. And that doubt is what eats them alive. So let me break it down for you. They crave attention more than they crave love. They crave validation more than they crave connection. They crave the upper hand more than they crave your presence. And if you keep giving it to them, they'll never come back honestly. Because why would they? They already have the reward without lifting a finger. The solution? Cut it off. Reclaim your attention. Stop watching back. Stop checking up. Stop giving them the satisfaction of knowing they still matter. The moment you do, you change the entire game, because silence paired with your indifference is the most brutal punishment they will ever face. Comment this right now. I protect my attention. Write it, own it, declare it. Let the world see that your attention isn't cheap anymore, because when you stop rewarding them with your focus, you stop being the prey. You become the prize. And that shift, my friends, changes everything. Stay with me, because next we're going to expose why they expect you to break first, and how refusing to play that role is the exact move that makes them panic. Affirmation: I protect my attention. Write it in the comments. Number 5, they expect you to break first. The greatest power move is silence, because silence forces the other person to reveal who they really are. My friends, let's uncover one of the deepest illusions you've been trapped in. When they go quiet, when they watch but don't reach out, when they linger in the background like a ghost, they're not just sitting there passively. No, they're playing a game, and the rule of the game is simple. They expect you to break first. They expect you to fold under the weight of uncertainty. They expect you to do what most men do: reach out, chase, explain, beg, and in doing so, hand over all of your power. Think about the roles we've been conditioned into. From childhood, boys are told to pursue, to prove, to make the effort. Movies, stories, and even culture repeat this narrative. If you want her, go after her. Don't give up. And while you've been programmed to believe that persistence equals strength, they've been taught that waiting equals power. That's why silence becomes their weapon. Because deep down, they're banking on the belief that eventually you'll cave, that eventually you'll feel the pressure, the fear, the loneliness, and you'll move first. Picture this like a staring contest. 2 people, eyes locked, neither blinking. Who wins? Not the one who stares hardest, but the one who blinks first. Silence is their version of a staring contest. They're not doing nothing, they're waiting. Waiting for your eyes to close, waiting for you to lose patience, waiting for you to reach out so they can smile in the background and think, I knew he couldn't hold out. But here's the painful truth. Every time you break first, every time you send that late-night message, every time you check in just to see if they're okay, you reinforce their belief that they still own you emotionally. You confirm their strategy works. And once they know you'll always be the one to break, they'll never need to reach out. Why would they, when they can sit back and let you do the work? This is why silence feels unbearable for so many men, because silence isn't empty, it's loaded. It's filled with questions, doubts, and fears. Are they thinking about me? Have they moved on? Are they waiting for me to act? Should I just send something small? That voice inside your head isn't weakness, it's conditioning. It's years of being told that the man must act, must fix, must chase. But if you want to rise above the trap, you have to rewire that voice. Let me break another lie for you. Silence doesn't mean they're stronger. Silence doesn't mean they're over you. Silence doesn't even mean they don't miss you. Silence is simply a bet that you'll blink first, that you'll trade your power for temporary relief, that you'll give them the validation they crave without them risking their pride. And my friends, this is exactly why Stoicism is your greatest weapon. Because when you refuse to break, when you master your emotions, when you sit in the discomfort of silence without caving, you flip the entire script. Suddenly, they're no longer certain. Suddenly they start to wonder. Suddenly, the game they thought they controlled turns against them. Because the longer you hold the line, the more doubt creeps into their mind. Why hasn't he reached out? Did I miscalculate? Did he move on? Did I lose him for good? And just like that, the silence that was supposed to be your prison becomes their punishment. It won't be easy. In fact, it'll feel like a war inside your chest. Every instinct will scream at you to break. Every fear will try to convince you that silence equals loss. But remember this, he who masters himself masters the game. Holding the line isn't about them, it's about you. It's about proving to yourself that you don't crumble, that you don't chase ghosts, that you don't hand over your value in exchange for temporary comfort. So, what do you do when silence stretches on? You don't break, you don't chase, you don't give them the satisfaction of being right. You rise above it. You use that silence to build yourself, to strengthen your focus, to redirect your energy into becoming untouchable. Because the man who doesn't break first becomes unforgettable. Comment this right now. I will not break. Write it, declare it, show it to yourself and to the world. Because the second you decide that you will not be the one to fold, you win. And when you win, their silence no longer controls you, it exposes them. Stay with me, because what's coming next will dig even deeper into the unspoken law of attraction. The brutal truth that the one who cares less always wins. And once you understand this, you'll never see relationships the same way again. Affirmation, I will not break. Write it in the comments. Number 6. The one who cares less always wins. In every power struggle, victory doesn't belong to the one who loves more, but to the one who needs less. My friends, let me tell you something most men spend years refusing to accept. The one who cares less always wins. This isn't cynicism. This isn't coldness. This is reality. In the brutal world of attraction and relationships, neediness kills desire. Desperation kills respect. Overinvestment kills value. And silence. Silence is the scoreboard, because the one who can sit with it, the one who doesn't rush to fill the gap, the one who refuses to crack first, that's the one who walks away with the power. Think about fire. When you feed it with too much wood, too fast, you smother it. But when you give it space, when you let it breathe, it grows stronger. That's attraction. That's connection. It doesn't thrive on being drowned. It thrives on balance, on uncertainty, on mystery. And yet most men make the same fatal mistake. They care too much, too openly, too quickly. They send too many texts. They chase too hard. They explain too much. They think that if they just pour enough effort in, eventually she'll see their worth. But in reality, the moment she feels he's more invested than she is, the fire starts to die. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people holding opposite ends of a rope. If you pull harder than they do, what happens? The rope slackens in their hands. They don't need to pull anymore because you're doing all the work. And that's exactly how most men lose. They pull with their attention, their emotions, their energy, while she just lets go and enjoys the ease. But when you let go of the rope, when you stop tugging harder than she does, suddenly the weight shifts. Suddenly she feels the slack. Suddenly she's the one questioning if she should hold on tighter. This is why women obsess over the men they can't fully have. This is why they lose sleep over the unpredictable ones. Because mystery keeps the rope taut. Uncertainty keeps the fire alive. And yet, society has lied to you, my friends. They told you to be the nice guy, to always show you care, to always be available. They told you persistence wins her over, but persistence in the wrong direction doesn't create love. It creates imbalance, and imbalance destroys attraction. So why do women chase the so-called toxic men? Why do they always go back to the guy who doesn't give them everything? It's not because women want pain, it's because uncertainty keeps them hooked. The men who care less create an emotional puzzle. And people are drawn to puzzles they can't solve. That's the truth most men never want to hear. But let's get even deeper. The one who cares less isn't always careless. Don't confuse the two. Caring less doesn't mean being cruel. It doesn't mean ignoring them completely. It means never caring more than they do. It means never overinvesting where it's not matched. It means protecting your energy, your attention, your peace. Because the second you show that you're more invested than she is, the dynamic shifts, and not in your favor. This is why silence is such a weapon. When you go quiet, when you refuse to over-explain, when you don't rush to clarify every doubt, you send a signal. I don't need this. I don't need you to validate me. I stand on my own. That's the energy that makes people chase. That's the energy that makes them overthink. That's the energy that flips the script. Because suddenly they're not sure where they stand with you. And uncertainty is the birthplace of desire. It won't be easy because every part of you will want to care more. Every part of you will want to fix, to explain, to reassure. But my friends, remember this. If you care more than they do, you've already lost. Caring less doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you stop losing yourself. It means you stop handing over all of your value for free. It means you stop chasing ghosts and start building yourself. So here's your challenge. Stop keeping score of their silence. Stop analyzing every move. Stop pouring more into the rope than they do. Instead, lean back, detach, care less. Let your actions show that you don't break, you don't beg, and you don't chase. Because when you do, the balance shifts. Suddenly, they're the one questioning. Suddenly, they're the one doubting. Suddenly, they're the one chasing you. Comment this right now. I care less, I win. Write it, claim it, own it. Show the world that you're done over-investing. Show them that you finally understand the law of attraction that most men never figure out. Stay with me, because next we're going to break down why your silence doesn't just balance the scales. It creates something even more powerful, doubt. And doubt, my friends, is the spark that ignites their regret. Affirmation: I care less, I win. Write it in the comments. Number 7. If they truly wanted you, they'd be here. Love is never silent. It always shows itself through action. My friends, let's end this with the hardest truth of all. If they truly wanted you, they'd be here. Not watching from the shadows, not leaving breadcrumbs, not hoping you'd break first. They would show up. They would reach out. They would act. Silence isn't proof of love. It's proof of hesitation. And hesitation is not what you deserve. Think about it. When someone values their job, they show up every day. When someone values their health, they take care of it. When someone values you, they don't sit around in silence hoping you read their mind. They make sure you know. So if they're still just watching but never stepping forward, understand this. You are not their priority. You're their option. And you, my friend, are worth far more than being an option. The lie men tell themselves is, maybe they're scared, maybe they're waiting for me, maybe silence means they care deep down. No. If they cared enough, you wouldn't be confused. If they cared enough, they wouldn't risk losing you. And if they cared enough, they wouldn't need silence to play games. They would need action to keep you. So what do you do now? You stop waiting. You stop giving value to silence. You stop mistaking attention for intention. And you rise, you build, you move forward with power. Because the man who understands this truth never wastes his life chasing ghosts. He becomes the man they regret losing forever. Comment this right now. I move forward. Write it, declare it, and let the world see it. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the brotherhood of men who refuse to be trapped by silence. This is your time, your power, your victory. Affirmation: I move forward. Write it below.